Hello, I'm Justin Smith, and I did film this ride through of It's a Small World Holiday from the 2021 edition. So this is gonna be the first of sort of throwback to the DVD commentaries. Back when people bought films on DVD and Blu-rays, and if you have a DVD and Blu-ray, you can sometimes find these things called commentaries where the filmmakers actually explain how they made a film. And I'm going to try to do this with this video that I did of my ride through. So we open up with with the song Christmas Fantasy from the Christmas Fantasy Parade. When I actually was in line for this ride, the parade was actually going on. So, it was kind of a cool little, epiphany I had where I'm like, this would actually be, this song would actually be a great, you know, song for the introduction of this video. So that's why, I started off with Christmas Fantasy, which is, it's a parade. It's sort of different from it has nothing to do with It's a Small World Holiday, but they're both the Christmas songs. It's all part of, the whole thrill of It's a Small World Holiday coming back is sort of, you know, indicative of Christmas is here. So, I thought it'd be a great way to start. And so that's why I started it. And yeah, I think it works quite well for this video. And so, yeah, so It's a Small World Holiday. Love It's a Small World Holiday. I've actually been riding this ride all the way since 1998 when, it first premiered. I actually remember watching the ABC special when it premiered that same year. So I've tried to go to Disneyland every year.
Why don't you
I
start?
haven't been to Chris during the Christmas season every year, but every time I go there, I gotta go to It's a Small World Holiday. Part of me likes it even more than traditional Small World, and I love It's a Small World. I mean, childhood nostalgia, but there's just something about hearing Jingle Bells and by the kids of the world. The same time you hear that classic Sherman Brothers song that just it's just pure magic. And I love going there every year. This year was a little bit crazy because you may have heard there was a flooding issue. It's apparently some wiring issue got damaged, wires got damaged, and as a result, they actually delayed this ride for almost like about a whole month. I mean, typically It's a Small World Holiday doesn't open until about November and like mid-November, so it could be, in the park for roughly about 3 months, really 2 months, 1 month and 2 half months, but it did not get off to a great start. It was not open all through Thanksgiving, which is very weird, a bit different. But when they finally opened it in December, that's why I was so excited, like to finally go on this ride. I had to film it, and yeah, it that's what I did. Yeah, I love the smell of It's a Small World Holiday, of It's a Small World water in general. I mean, a lot of people hype up the smell of the Pirates of the Caribbean water. I mean, there's like, there's some fans that sell candles with the aurora of, Pirates of the Caribbean water, and people go on about how great smelling the water is. I love the smell of It's a Small World water. I mean, I don't know what it is, but it's just, every time I smell it, it's like a return to my childhood. It's just magical, magical smell. And so, yeah, so this is the introduction to the North Pole, and this is our sort of gateway to another world. Yeah, I had to get all these bells in this one shot. And there's Santa. He's blowing things. Yeah, Santa does sure talk a lot. He's quite loud in this video. I love, Santa's reading all the entire naughty or nice list, and, he's checking it twice. This Canadian thing, Marshall, I've always liked. Monty, I've always liked. He kind of always reminded me of Dudley Do Right. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Yeah, every time I go, when this ride reopened in 2009 and they added the Disney characters, I tried, of course, when you go on it, you try to, like, sort of find all the Disney characters, and that's fine and all. There's my finger making a cameo in this. If I was refilming this, I would try to edit that. I would also try to, get all the angles of the stuff that I missed out on previously. But this was my first ride through video, and so I sort of just, pretty much just went on it once, and so everything you're seeing is, yeah, there are a few edits here and there, but largely, this is just from one video going on one track once, and I think it turned out pretty well. This is the infamous year sign. I try when I go on every year, I try to get a screen cap of this shot, so and then make it my timeline photo on Facebook, and try to post it on Instagram, all that jazz. Um, I did not get to go on it for 2021. I would miss that because, of course, that was the year of 2020, and Disneyland was unprecedentedly closed for a whole year. So I missed out on having a 2021. So I was very happy to get a screen cap of 2022 and make it my timeline photo. And here's Pinocchio, and I love the Jiminy Cricket. He's, you don't really get to see him very much. I don't give him much attention, but I always like, little Jiminy up there because he's small and, he's easy to find. And here we get to the China section. So, one thing that I thought was weird this year was that they didn't really have any reference to the year of the tiger. Usually, Chinese New Year, they usually have, dragon. They have like one of 12 animals that, that's they rotate around every year. 2022 is supposed to be the year of the dragon, but there's no dragon. Okay, this is the Aladdin, the Middle East part. This is Aladdin, the magic carpet. Yeah, love that the water is basically just cloth. Okay, yeah, here we go. Here's the China part. And so, yeah, it was always very weird. I would, even if they just put, like a little tiger in there or tiger, but if based on this, you would think this would be the year of the dragon because, you know, I mean, I guess they have the balloon every year because it's Mushu and Mulan, as you can see, makes a cameo. But that's sort of one nitpick about this overlay is that they should make a little specialty, like, in the same way they change the years every year, they should just in place, a little tiger somewhere. And then, next year, whatever animal that is, they should make a reference that every year, change it up. And here's Cleopatra, little Elizabeth Taylor. which technically is now a Disney movie now that Disney has purchased Fox, you know. Do 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 do. We're coming up to the Lion King section, and I really love, you know, the Timon who pops up, you know, just like that Jiminy Cricket, you know. He's got a little Santa hat on, you know, it's really cool. Eating grub. A really interesting angle of the giraffes. Feliz Navidad. Yeah, and here this is actually the penguins. You know, I'm not sure. Kind of reminds me of, you know, the Three Caballeros where they have the story of the penguins, you know, Pablo the penguin. This is actually my favorite part of It's a Small World Holiday because, fun fact, when we get to this segment of the ride, it smells like peppermint. Just lovely. And, you know, I've always loved the Three Caballeros, speaking of which, you know, here they are in their grand cameo. I think it's an underrated gem of a movie, that and Saludos Amigos, where Jose Carioca makes his debut. Yeah, a little surprising they haven't added like a Miguel here, you know, playing the guitar or you know, they could, you know, since this is sort of South America in general, they could put, you know, Cusco in there, you know. That would be fun. But, you know, they got a nice Christmas tree, you know. Always like this segment of the ride. We're three caballeros, three gay caballeros. They say we are birds of a feather. Ah, Mili Kalukamaka. The jingle shells, jingle shells. Yeah, that's about coming up. Yeah, I remember when the mermaid used to be blonde, but of course, when they did their 2009 update, they of course had to change her hair from yellow to red, you know, and make it Ariel. Which, fun fact, the reason Ariel has red hair was she was originally going to have blonde hair, but they wanted to differentiate her from Daryl Hannah's character in Splash, which was the first Touchstone film, and it was a big hit for Disney. And, you know, they didn't want to. Yeah, and if you look at the bottom of the screen, there's the For Santa, you know, they lay out some fish, and if you can see there's a little flounder in the stockings. They even have a little Dory plush in there, so it's a little Easter egg if you're, you know, looking. And yeah, we're about to come to Hawaii, the Polynesian, pretty quickly. Yeah, one of my favorite little parts of this part of the ride is the little Elvis, the little figurine that goes above Lilo and Stitch. Yeah, it's a little, of course, you know, the Elvis figure being the holiday is sort of a nod to the movie and the song Blue Hawaii, which also gets played a lot on Christmas. There are the names of the reindeer, on Dasher, on Dancer, and Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, and what's the other one? You know, little Ernest Saves Christmas reference, Blitzer or Blitzen. Yeah, if I was reshooting this video again, I would try to, you know, go on it multiple times and shoot, because one part of the American section that were coming up that I didn't get to film was you can kind of see them there, but it's they're snowmen made out of wagon wheels, which is a really clever take. I always like that. Little Indians and their dream catcher, Woody and Jesse and Bullseye. Ho ho holidays. Yeah, it's interesting they have happy holidays, even though Christmas is really the only holiday that's represented in this ride. I'm surprised they don't have, some menorah somewhere, just to live up to the happy holidays, diversity and all that. The grand finale. Yeah, as you could see on this video, the boats actually started to slow, So the most interesting part of this video, shooting this video, was that around this point the ride actually stopped. So that's why towards the end of this video, yeah, we're about to come it up where I sort of cut to various unique shots of the dolls, and it's because the ride stopped and I didn't really have anywhere to shoot, so I mean, this part is all cool, I reach into the end of the ride, and then all of a sudden, try to get all these this much footage as possible, and then all of a sudden it just stopped. And so yeah, I haven't been evacuated out of Small World yet. There was a long time where I'd only been evacuated out of one ride in all of Disneyland, and that was Splash Mountain. I eventually got evacuated out of California Screaming and Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, and that's pretty much the only three rides I've ever been evacuated from. I've never been evacuated from Small World. I did not get evacuated here, but yeah, this part of the ride is where it just stopped, and then so that's why we cut to some close-ups. I decided, since I was stuck on this ride, I thought, let's just get some close-ups and make the most of it. So this is about as inventive as this video really gets because, I mean, I don't have the most high-def camera around, and I only went on this ride, once for this video, so I didn't really get multiple shots, but I did get this opportunity. I got stuck at this part at the very end, so I got some close-ups and some unique shots that you wouldn't see on the typical ride-through video. Yeah, my sort of unique, and then finally the ride starts moving again, all that very slowly creeping around. Here we about to get to really the end of the ride, and I get I try to zoom up really close to like the stamps because one of the cool little Easter eggs is that there's a hidden Charlie Brown in one of the postcard stamps. Because you could see they have children. Like in the far right bottom, there's like one that you can see he has the sort of same eyebrow. One of the kids has the same eyebrow that Charlie Brown has. So you hear about hidden Mickeys, but you don't hear much about Charlie Browns. I mean, he's not a Disney character, but it's a cool little fact. And there's the Disneyland Railroad. I actually had an opportunity while waiting in line to actually shoot the Disneyland Railroad while I was going by. One of the coolest parts is that the Disneyland Railroad goes through this ride, sort of. They go through the exterior. They don't really go inside the ride, but still, I so regretting that I didn't get a shot of the train, actually moving through. But at least it makes a cameo here, so that's sort of a cool experience with the ride. When I shoot it next year, I hope to get multiple angles, multiple shots, and so I can really get the full experience. But I got enough angles, for all this footage of going through the ride once. It's a solid ride through, I would say. Yeah, getting being stuck in the water, getting a 360 shot. Yeah, I especially love like the light show that they have every It's a Small World Christmas here, They've really added projections over the years and they've really made it a show like every I think 40 during like, when it's night during like I think 11:45 like I don't know how long they do it, but I just know they have a little light show, attraction. And yeah, this is where we come to broadly the end. I mean, I hope you've enjoyed my ramblings. I wish I had more insights I could have shared, but I hope you like and subscribe. Maybe I can add some more ride throughs in the future. Yeah, there's the bottom shot of the boat. So yeah, I hope so. Please comment, like, subscribe, and maybe I can add more ride throughs and maybe more commentaries. But yeah, this is just a sort of interesting experiment, and I hope you enjoyed. And you know, this as I'm recording this is the last day of It's a Small World holiday, so I can't wait to see it next year. But until then, see you later. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe.